everybody, and welcome to a new series that we're doing where we talk about the Leafs games after they play. So instead of doing it in the weekly podcast, we'll be uploading more videos for you guys to enjoy. Now let's talk about this recent game that just happened, where the Leafs traveled to New York to play against the Rangers, who are one of the top teams in the league currently. The Leafs entered this game blown a lead in 3 of the past 4 games. They've been having a really bad stretch, especially on the road. And it's just been a defensive nightmare, honestly, with Campbell just stealing the game and stealing some points for the Leafs the last couple of games. Going into this game, the Leafs lost Muzzin. Muzzin took a nasty hit on the boards in Saturday's game against the St. Louis Blues with Klim Kostin. And on Tuesday, the Leafs confirmed Jake Muzzin was diagnosed with a concussion and won't be traveling to the Rangers game the next day. So now to take his place, the Leafs brought in Alex Biega. Am I pronouncing his name correctly?
Yeah, you got it.
And if you've never heard of Alex Biega, I mean, I'm not surprised. I haven't heard of this guy before today, but just to give a brief recap, he's a 33-year-old right-handed defenseman. He's honestly been a bit of a journeyman going around
the whole career.
Yeah, exactly. With Muzzin out for this game, as well as Hall being injured, Liljegren and Sandin had a big test ahead of them. They would need to play well, especially for the Leafs now with larger minutes, and try to give Campbell some help, which he's desperately needed in the past few games. Now, going into this game, Campbell had something to prove going against Shesterkin, who was looking to be his biggest threat to the Vezina. Shesterkin has won 12 of his past 14 games and was coming into this game with a .945 save percentage. Now, the Leafs started the game off hot. They looked like they had something to prove. They looked aggressive. They were chipping away at Shesterkin, and goal number 1 happened three shots into the game, actually. Liljegren throws a puck down into the Rangers zone. Mikheyev fights off Nemeth, and the Rangers defenseman Ryan Lindgren tries to clear the puck, but Envol gets an interception and shoots one past Shesterkin, which was blocked. Luckily, Mikheyev scoops the puck and sneaks one across Shesterkin to bring the Leafs up 1-0 early on in the game. Less than a minute later, Kreider takes a penalty for tripping Biega. The Leafs start the power play and win the faceoff. Within 15 seconds, Marner gets the Leafs their second goal this season with a beautiful touch and play pass.
Fun fact, that was the first Marner power play goal in like 100 games.
Oh, so, really? Has that actually been that long?
Yeah, it's been a fucking long time, and he gets a lot of power play minutes, so it's good to see him get one, because I think a lot of teams are kind of know that he's not much of a shooting threat on that one, and he's just going to pass it, so hopefully he pots a few more this season, because going 100 games without a power play goal is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's such a niche stat too. But I'm sure he knows it. Like he's a very
I'm sure he's
character.
aware.
Exactly, yeah.
And he's been shooting a lot more on the power play as well. It's just he doesn't have the best shot. So, I think this play was like a quintessential Marner goal, because he kind of just sneaked down low. No one really picked him up. And I think that's how he's going to pot goals. I don't think he was really doing much as a shooting threat on the bumper slot, or at the bumper position where he was taking, one-timers in the slot. I don't think he's got the shot for that. So this is a good Marner goal. I want to see more of that from him.
Yeah, you're definitely right. So next, continuing the period, the Leafs and the Rangers exchange some great scoring chances, but the Rangers finally get the better of Campbell with 7 minutes left into the period. McKegg throws a centering pass in a scramble against the boards, and the puck gets an unfortunate bounce over Biega's stick and goes straight to Ryan Reeves, who takes a split second to control the puck and gets a beauty of a shot past Campbell. The rest of the period was a bit slow, but the Leafs catch the Rangers sleeping to attack the net on a 3-on-2. Marner passes to Matthews, who rips one on Shesterkin, but it was blocked. Bunting was luckily there, and even while he was getting pressure from the back, he manages to get a backhanded rebound that just passes through Shesterkin, giving the Leafs a 3-1 lead going into the second. Now, this has to be a great position, right? The Leafs were playing great hockey so far. They have a lead going into the second. A 3-1 lead to be in particular. Now, looking at the past few games, I mean, this has to be a resurgence, right? Like the Leafs have to be playing this strong. Like, there's no way we're gonna give this up, right? But no, you missed the one detail. It's a 3-1 lead. It's been how
Yeah,
long since that
it's kind of
Boston lost, dude?
unfathomable.
How
Like
long has
four
it
out of
been since that
five,
2013 loss to the Bruins? It's a new
8 years.
It's a new
Oh,
core,
9 years now.
new management, new core, new
Yep.
players. Look at Matthews, okay? Matthews and Marner and Nylander, these guys were in middle school at that point. Like seven, how long? 8 years ago. They're 24 right now. They would have been 16 years. That's high school.
High school, yeah. They're our age. Well, my age.
Yeah,
Matthews and Marner. So
exactly.
they would
Isn't
have
that
been your.
wild? Like
Yep, that's fucking wild.
Matthews at that. Think about it. When the Leafs lost that game 7, Matthews had a perfect hairline. He was looking great. Looking at
He
now.
probably still had that nasty mustache though.
Yeah, I mean, at least not as bad as it is now. He's
Before he
going
could
through a
start
midlife
shaving.
crisis at this point, man. And who can blame the man? I'm freaking. Look at this. Do you see this hairline? I'm losing my hair just talking about the Leafs the whole time. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Like, last time we spoke on the weekend on the podcast, I was fairly positive about it. It was mainly a situation where it's like you got the wins, but don't make this a habit. Like, you got out of a rut and managed to get a win no matter what,
Mm,
but there was concern about this being a trend. And then the very
yeah,
next game to do the exact same fucking thing and then lose is just like, I don't know what fans can really expect here.
it's
Like,
wild.
you can
And
have an
sorry,
optimistic take
just one
because
quick thing before
yeah,
before
go
you
for it.
continue. We forgot to mention how the game actually ended. So we got to the 3-1. I love how everyone knew what the ending was. We knew we were gonna lose, but we go into the second with a 3-1 lead, come out of the second with a 3-3 tied game, and then guess what happens in the third? We lose another three goals. I mean, I don't even want to talk about each individual goal. The Rangers just
Yeah, we
outshot
don't
us.
really
They
have to
outplayed
go
us,
into it.
and it was disgusting.
I don't even okay. So here's the thing, right? Like we gave up a lot defensively. I'll start there. That's
Mhm.
something that we need to take care of.
Yeah.
I don't think we got outplayed. Now that is not an excuse because once it
Are you
happens
kidding
4 out of
me?
5 games. No, but hear me out. Once it happens 4 to
What
5
game were you
games,
watching?
dude, the shots were literally well into the Leafs' favor. The expected goals were well into the Leafs' favor, and they got really lucky too. Like if you look at the first Ryan Reeves goal, the second Ryan Reeves goal, and their fourth goal, they're all off of bounces
Yeah, okay,
that
I
just go
agree.
directly to them.
But I mean,
Jack
okay.
Campbell also, this was like one of the games that he looked human. He was kind of out of position. I think the past, 3 blown leads might be getting into his head, which we do not want. We
Now, what
want our
about the
goalie
pressure
feeling
with
confident,
Shesterkin too?
right? Yeah, exactly. Like, and Campbell's comments after the game are always kind of have a, a pinch of self-loathing, which is not the best to see. I hope he's playing confidently because we need him to be good, especially if we're going to play like that. But yeah, I personally don't even think we got out. Like, to me, this was like a cursed game. Like, we had a
So,
Matthews
3-1
goal.
curse.
Like,
Is that what you're telling me?
yeah, like Matthews also got a goal called back because of a skate kick.
And then also
Yeah,
Nylander misses a goal against a 1-on-1 on
on a breakaway.
with
Like we
Shesterkin.
had the majority of
Exactly.
chances. Like if we're actually looking at this in a bubble, like if we just take a look at this game and fuck the last 5 games,
Mhm.
most of us would turn this game off and be like, you lose some, you deserve to win,
Yeah.
But you cannot ignore the fact that 4 of the last 5 games we've blown a 3-1 lead. Like
Yeah.
that is just
It's wild.
ridiculous.
See,
And they
go
do
ahead.
it in different ways, and like I don't know. To me, this is a game that's just like this team needs to forget about the past and move on because it's clearly in their heads if they're doing this every fucking game.
Did you say forget about the past?
They need to.
They weren't even on the team when this first happened.
Yeah, but I mean, forget about the recent past, like the last 5 games. I don't care about like the Boston stuff. I don't even think they think about that.
Are you
The
kidding me?
first,
Okay, tell
the
me they don't think
2013,
about
the
this.
2013
It
Boston stuff.
100% is on the
They
back
don't
of their
think about.
mind. It's
No, the
100%.
2017,
Every time they lose something like
18.
this, how many 3-1 games have they lost? Every time they lose, it gets brought up. Every single
Yeah,
time.
okay, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is like, okay,
Do you
the
not think that
franchise
Matthews
remembers.
and do you not think that core group or even the entire group going into
Maybe
into the
Riley,
second? No, going into
and
the
that's it.
second, they
They'll
100% were
remember.
thinking 3-1.
No, they'll
we're
remember
in
all of the
trouble.
other blown losses. They'll remember the other blown losses more than they remember 2013. None of these guys were on the team.
Yeah.
Matthews probably did not care about the Leafs at all. He was probably a Boston fan at that point. Like, guys from Arizona, you know, like he's not gonna be cheering the Leafs on in 2013.
No wonder he was living a better life back then.
That's why he had this normal hair.
Yeah.
It was the Leafs that broke him.
Exactly.
But yeah, like, to me, it's a game that just like was the worst to watch because you saw the writing on the wall. You
Yeah.
knew it was going to happen, and
Mhm.
regardless of how many shots we got on net, it didn't matter. Like, we were losing that game, and you know,
At
like,
this point, like they should just let them score a second and just like
yeah,
just stop
it's a weird
3-1
thing.
lead.
And like, I don't want to say all of the Rangers goals were lucky because they weren't. Like,
Mhm.
we had defensive breakdowns and a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of drill down into Sandin and Liljegren because they did have a huge test coming up. And you know, I don't know what we expected from that. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they played like I think we should have expected them to play.
I thought they played well. I
which
thought the
was-
bigger
they were
difference was
offensively
Biega.
very good. They generated a lot of chances, but
Mhm.
they got beat defensively sometimes, and that's gonna happen. You
Yeah.
know, you're putting two rookie defensemen into a top four role, and it's like, yeah, no shit, they're not gonna, you know, fare the best, you know, that they can. In my opinion, they should have put. I think they should have put Dermott with one of them,
Oh,
and
really?
then Liljegren. Yeah, because it's
I
like.
thought, I thought it would have been fine. Like even
I
them playing that
think they
game,
were
I thought
fine. They were
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Like, I don't want to like sound any horns here, but like, they did get beat defensively
Mhm,
a lot,
mhm.
and they were really good offensively. But if you're playing a top four role, you know, you're putting in like 13, 14 minutes together. You can't, you know, both be easy to beat.
Yeah.
And
Now keep
that's
in
not
mind,
to say
though, they're also playing against the Rangers who are
which are fantastic
yeah,
offensively.
like,
But
they
that's
have
exactly
Panarin
kind of
as
what
a
I'm
second
saying.
round-
You're kind of putting them in a
second line.
position. You're putting them in a position that's like for failure. You're putting them out
Yeah.
against a crazy good offense, both rookie guys playing heavy minutes, and like neither of them have really played that role before to the level.
See,
of
I don't
that.
think
Like,
they
you know,
had
Lil-
too much pressure on them because even Sheldon Keefe going into the game, he was saying how yes, it is a big test for them, but they shouldn't feel they shouldn't
Yeah.
feel too much pressure. They're still rookies.
I don't
at
think
the
they
end of
should
the
feel
day.
pressure because they are rookies. Like, no one's gonna turn around at this game and be like, Sandin and Liljegren are busts.
Yeah,
But what I'm trying to say is, like, in this game, they were kind of thrown to the wolves here, and it's a tough position to be in. And while they performed well, about as I expected, like, they were a reason for quite a few of our goals because Liljegren, you know, couldn't get to his man, made a timid play with the puck, which resulted in a turnover. General rookie mistakes that you expect to see, and to have both of them on the same line playing top 4 minutes is not sheltering them at all. And I'm not surprised that the Rangers, you know, exposed some of their defensive woes the way they did. You know, because like, it's expecting too much of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Dermott has proven that he can play top 4 in a pinch, and
Mhm.
you know, in my opinion, he provides at least some sort of defensive stability in terms of breakouts and stuff like that, and not feeling the pressure to get the puck out of the zone. Because I think Liljegren messed up a couple breakouts. You know, to pair him with one of the rookies, and then pair another on the third line with Biega. And Biega was also not very good this game, might I add. But
Yeah.
you know, when you're missing
what can you
two
expect
top
from
4
him?
D-men, it like this is going to happen. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about how in the podcast how we have defensive depth, and we do, but missing 2 top 4 D-men will pretty much neuter any competitive team, regardless of where you play. You know.
Yeah.
So we were obviously going to be pulling some AHL D-men up, and we did, and you know, we got what we expected there.
Mhm.
Yeah. one thing I want to add: the fourth line fucking sucks, and Clifford does not deserve to be in the NHL. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing with him. Like, we've
Who would you
got
put
better
in?
guys. Pick one of Alex Steves, Joey Anderson, who else? Nick Robertson when he's healthy at least. Josh Hosang, give him a contract, put him up. Like he's
Oh
not
yeah, we
good.
still do. Yeah. Josh
Clifford's
Hosang
not
would be
good.
amazing.
And like we need some sort of life on that line. No one's doing anything.
Hmm.
And like Spezza is great, but he's 38. Like, you can't expect him to carry that line. And
Yeah,
Simmons
I
is
mean
great,
he
but he's
still
a tough
skates
guy
amazing.
and he's not amazing in transition. And Clifford is a tough guy who sucks at transition.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything on that line that Simmons can't do. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
why have him there? What's his role?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not even too sure about that. I feel like
I don't like I think they get cooked. Like they've gotten cooked every single game they've played
yeah,
together.
yeah.
And like it's just like try something else. I don't think it works with him.
See,
I
I
think
think it
Engvall on
changes.
that line is really good, but
Mhm.
because we've had injuries, Engvall's on the third line. So, you got to figure it out, and I don't think Clifford's the answer there.
Yeah, yeah. I think Sheldon Keefe does have a job ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, you got to.
He tried out the Sandy and Liljegren line. He'll probably learn from this, and like you said, he'll probably pair one of them with Dermott just to try. Not even just that. Not even because they didn't play well with each other or
Like,
together,
well, yeah.
but just they. I think it's
I
time where he has to play around with the lineups, see what works, see what doesn't. Because
Yeah,
I think I mentioned this in the podcast too, right? With Muzzin's injury issues, like you're gonna have to have our depth, I
yeah,
guess,
you're gonna have to pull
play
from them.
bigger minutes. Yeah, so you need to
Yeah,
be able to trust them, and the only way you can trust them is if you play around with chemistry, figure out what parents work, what parents don't work, and then work off of that.
yeah. And the Leafs need to build some confidence when holding the lead. I think like that's really shot right now, and I don't think this game helped because I thought they did play well, and then all of a sudden they score a couple of easy ones, and then you completely defensively break down, and then you give them the game essentially. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like Reeves got a couple. Like Reeves isn't a goal scorer. We know that. He's Ryan Reeves. He pots one, he pots another. That happens sometimes. You can't fucking just completely defensively break down from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't know. We'll see. Keith's got a job on his hands because he has to make this cursed team win. So good luck.
Yeah, I mean,
Godspeed.
we're going to be playing the New York Islanders on Saturday, so they have a test ahead of them there. The New York Islanders, they look like they would be not easy, but all right competition for the Leafs. But I mean, the Leafs always struggle against Lamoriello and the Islanders, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully Sheldon Keefe, I guess, plays around with the lineups. Hopefully the Leafs play a little bit better and just reset. They got a couple days now.
Yeah, and
Reset
they
and
got
just get it
they got
going.
a lot of practice days. Hopefully Hall's back as well, so we don't have to play Biega.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I really hope we get back on track here because this last stretch has been very, very worrying for our playoff hopes of getting out of the first round.
Yeah.
And, you know, whoever we get, it's not going to be easy. It's not like last year. We're not
Yeah.
going to face the Habs.
Yeah, I
We're
agree.
getting one of Florida or the Tampa Bay Lightning or Boston Bruins. But take your
It's gonna
pick.
be
That's
tough.
all fucking hard. So
Yeah.
like, you got to bring your A game, and this isn't that. So
Hey.
prepare. I want to shout out one guy, Jack Hahn on Twitter. Jack Hahn was a coach, an assistant coach for the Marlies. He coached under Keefe. He's coached several of our players, including Liljegren. If you do want to get some more analysis on the Leafs, he's very good. He just put up a review highlighting Timothy Liljegren's game against the Rangers. He talks about the goal for that he was on the ice for and 2 goals against and what he did well and what he did badly. It's just interesting to get a previous coach experience of the kid. So if you're looking for more Leafs content, I highly suggest it. Just wanted to give them a shout out.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it from us. We'll see you guys on Saturday. Peace.